Hello and welcome to My Mom's Basement, presented by 3Chi and Barstool Sports, and another My Mom's Basement quick hitter for Stranger Things, Season 4, Episode 4. This one is Dear Billy. Spoilers for this episode. We're going to do another one of these, kind of what we would have tweeted during this episode, and what an episode this was, Clem.
Yeah, the name Dear Billy, and I think you see Max by like the gravesite, and you're like, oh, we're gonna get heavy here. That was my first thought when I saw the fucking episode title. So, yeah, I'll say that one counts. And again, after the episode's all done, this was the one where everyone was like, this is where shit got crazy. You get the goat emojis, all that kind of stuff. I said, are they talking about season 4 or episode 4 when they say goat? And you're like, I think they mean episode 4.
But I'll say this. Season 4, I've seen people say on Twitter already, like, this is my favorite season they've done yet, like, best Stranger Things season ever. So maybe the GOAT has two meanings. Also, being that this is a Stranger Things quick hitter, I wanted to point this out. I can't believe I forgot in the first 3 episodes. I don't think I could say what this is technically for, because they'll get us banned on YouTube. Someone sent this to me once.
Oh,
This is a bowl for tobacco use only.
yes, obviously.
Look
Wink,
at that.
wink.
Little thing in the foot, in the head, and then you put the tobacco in there.
If you smoke tobacco out of a mind flare or whatever those fucks are, a demogorgon, like I get a little paranoid about what I'm gonna do unless I use a certain brand that sponsors this podcast without naming names.
Yep.
I feel like I'd get scared. I'd be sent to the upside down if I smoked that. Shout out to you if you were brave enough to go down that road with your tobacco.
I had to show that off. All right, so let's get into the episode. My first note is that I said Max is kind of in a ring situation, it felt like, where it's like 7 days, and it's like, oh shit, you're going to die at some point. It seems like once Vecna contacts you, okay, everyone that gets contacted by him dies. Seeing Lucas back with the crew felt right. Felt good seeing him back with the crew. That was nice. And Max's mom turning into Vecna in that one scene was terrifying.
Yeah.
Imagine hugging your mom and then it's Vecna.
Didn't need that at all. Oh, it just sends goosebumps on my back. When Max had that thing where she's being haunted, I've told this story on Podfathers. I forgot the date, which isn't probably good. I think it's September 7th. Wife got into a car accident. A year later, AJ burnt his foot with an iron that was in the house. And I was like, holy shit, I am not leaving the house this entire day. My wife took the day off from work the next year. It was 2 years in a row. The third year, I dropped AJ off at daycare. On the way home, I was driving, and some asshole went in the oncoming lane, like the other lane, past somebody in a double yellow, and would have just head-on collision with me if I had maybe been like 3 seconds earlier. Just a fucking so Max. I was being haunted by Vecna as well. That shit is not fun. No bueno.
Is that the first thing you thought of when the car swerved too? Like, oh my god, the fucking date.
It was no, but it was like, oh fuck, I'm about to die. And then it was like, as soon as like the adrenaline went down, I was like, oh wait, today's the date too. Which I have to go back and figure out that date for when it comes again this year.
Yeah, it's approaching in September.
That's on the calendar. Yeah, that's no bueno. My first thought: where the fuck did Winona Ryder get $40,000 from?
I was thinking the same thing. Where'd that money come from? I was like, did I forget in a previous season where she hit the lottery?
The buyers, aren't they like the poor people on the wrong side of the tracks and all that kind of stuff from day fucking one? And listen, I told you Encyclopedia Britannica was big back in the day. It wasn't 40K just laying around big in the 80s. I'll tell you that much. Hopper's story, not a big fan of right now. Just B Gates tweeted us as it's mid. It is mid. B Gates,
yeah,
that's right. It's very mid. And I still do not understand the plan of the foot. I don't understand it for the life of me. And I'll tell you right now, I'm just never gonna understand it unless I'm proven wrong. And the song this is skipping ahead. We're kind of just gonna go around. Kate Bush hit number 1 on iTunes, and I love how that kind of becomes a thing. Agatha all along with WandaVision and all that kind of stuff, how songs from shows can kind of, or even have a second life. I know Journey, Don't Stop Believing with the Sopranos. What song would Robbie Fox have in his headphones to get him out of the upside down?
To get me out of Live Forever by Oasis. I got it. That's the song I got tattooed on my collarbone.
I didn't know you had a fucking Live Forever. I didn't know we had a body tat as well.
I think it's got to be that one. It's the only song I've got tattooed on my body.
Shit, man.
It's like kind of an uplifting song, kind of a positive song. So it's like, oh shit, I'm gonna live forever because I got to get out of the upside down. You know?
Mine would be Lisa Loeb's "Stay" because it's such a fun, campy
Oh
kind of
yeah,
song. I've had some legendary sing-alongs with it with all my buddies in college. It was kind of like the song of our house whenever you're just still drunk from the night before having some fun. And "Stay" obviously kind of works as well. So I think two good songs here. I want to people. We're gonna have the comments, but I want to hear everyone's song in the comments that you would have as your don't get sucked into a hell world for the rest of your life. So this is reminding you of, your life, your friends in the real world.
absolutely. And that was like the best use of that song you could have possibly had.
Mm-hmm.
I know we talked in previous episode about how the soundtrack wasn't like living up to our expectations this
Yeah.
season. I made a note they almost went with the Batman route where they were like, we're just gonna pick one song and we're gonna use it really well. Like how they used Something in the Way, how they used Running Up That Hill. Also, I would recommend people check out, I think the band is called Placebo, does a cover of Running Up That Hill. It was the one that I
Oh,
referenced
nice.
earlier that was used in a WWE video package that's like super famous among WWE fans. Go check that out. That's a good version of the song.
I love me some good covers of classic songs. That's what A Newfound Glory. They always do the rock
Yeah.
covers of like those classic movie songs. Lisa Loeb "Stay" is one of the songs that they've done, and I absolutely love it. So,
Look at Clem bringing up Newfound Glory on the podcast. That had to be plus 800.
yeah, big time underdog right there. It's from the screen to your stereo. My
Yep.
college buddy, again, same crew. Shout out my boy Reuter. He introduced me to it with "Tonight It's Very Clear as We're Both Flying." I'll be the man who will fight for your honor by I think it's
Oh
Chicago.
yeah. Yeah.
And I heard that for the first time. I was like, this fucking rules. Like, there's an entire album of it. So they released their third album a couple of years ago. I blogged it on Barstool. I was like,
Yeah,
I
I
just
remember
fucking
that.
love these things there. So shout out to all the different covers. Give us any good old 90s, 80s, 70s cover done like modern day. Send them to me. That your favorite ones. I love that shit.
I loved the scene of Robin and Nancy going in and swindling. I wrote Kevin O'Leary basically at the asylum. They're like, "Oh, this is our goal. We want to talk to Victor Creel." Another note: we had a lot of inspiration from Nightmare on Elm Street this season. Victor is the guy who played Freddy Krueger. It's the same actor. So that's like their little nod
Oh,
to
nice.
that. It's their little homage. I thought that was really cool. When he's retelling his story, too many bugs again, enough with the bugs. And then we get later on in the Upside Down more bugs. There's the jars, the Black Widows. There's
Mm-hmm.
just, oh my god, too many bugs. The whole running up that hill scene, emotional, probably best, maybe the best scene of the season. It's up there certainly. Her running towards her friends, them even discovering that the music could hit that different part of the brain or however they described it. And
Yep.
then the ending of the episode, did not see a shootout coming. That was stunning.
I wrote, what the fuck is going on with these guns? Not at all. Never saw it coming. And this reminded me, though, in the 80s, governments and like the military branches of the governments were like the second least trustworthy thing you could have. Russians were
Yeah.
number one. Russians were the enemy, but your own government and then the military, especially the ones that are kind of operating off the radar of everything, were always the ones fucking shit up. And the fact we just had like a straight up gunfight, it's I'm going to ask this question. I think the answer is no because I've asked you multiple times. Have you watched Boogie Nights yet?
No, I haven't. I still
There,
haven't.
there's a scene in Boogie Nights. You're just like, what the fuck just happened? And it is right out of there without spoiling anything.
Boogie
So
Nights and Warriors are the two that I still
yeah,
gotta hone in on. Yeah.
and I'll put Boogie Nights as on my rankings. I'm going to say like a 9. We'll do the balls ranking, of course, as is tradition. 4-8 on my scale.
Oh.
Warriors is like a solid 3-8. It's more of like a cult classic,
Yeah.
whereas I think Boogie Nights is a classic. Speaking of Victor, how I'm sorry, this is in the notes, so I have to ask it. How much money would it take for you to have sex with Victor's eyes? It came to my mind when I was looking at it. It's
A
like,
lot more than the $40,000 ransom. I'll tell you that much.
do you think that's how I know a guy? I was thinking maybe that was Hopper's money somehow, and then I'm like, did Hopper have sex with Victor's eyes? I don't know, but
Those
again,
eyes, I had pink eye when I was in like first grade. This is the one and only time I ever had pink eye. And I woke up and my eyes were all crusty. That's what that reminded me of. Disgusting.
oh yeah,
Just disgusting.
the first time you have pink eye, and you just keep wiping the crust away. You're like, what? Like, how much sleep is stuck in here? And it's like, no, you got pink eye. And Knocked Up did nobody any favors, because now if you get pink eye these days, it's like, who farted on your pillow? You know what kind of hygiene?
Face?
Our boy Stu Finer going tongue deep in assholes. I shout out, if you listen to the dog walk. Listen, if you listen to the dog walk, listen to it near no kids' eardrums, because the amount
apparently my mom's basement near no kids' eardrums either with what we're talking about.
NC-17. And again, the eyes, it just reminded me of like the old Chaps blogs, was like, fellas, you know, how much money would it take or whatever. I love that Enzo is Hopper's buddy, the many-faced guy. We've talked about that in the past. And I also so again, we're doing these things as we're taking the notes as we watch the episode. So sometimes you could be taking the notes, and then as the episode goes along, obviously change. So my first note is, I feel like Yuri is the Russian version of Eddie's that we said. Just lovable guys you like, trustworthy guys. And then my next note is, I take it back. I just expose myself in my own fucking notes. Fuck Yuri, man. Fuck that guy.
That was really tough. One of my notes for this episode was just like a quote of, I'm Yuri. And I don't even remember when that happened, but I remember it making me laugh. I think Murray says it at some point.
Yuri Murdy. Is that this episode?
I think it might be, yeah.
That was fun. Again, the name Yuri just rings out, but now this guy has poisoned the well for Yuri for the rest of my life.
Guy.
Going back to that gun scene, the poor buyer's house. Like it's almost become the new Uncle Ben, where it's like they get a new house and it still gets lit up like the old house in Hawkins gets lit up. You have the entire thing like gutted, as they have like the Christmas lights and all that shit. I thought it was kind of funny. Winona's already poor, even though she's apparently has $40,000 just laying around. It doesn't help when your house gets trashed every single fucking year, basically.
No, their insurance has to be through the roof at this point.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's a great point. It's like buyer's insurance. It's like, let's see your last few houses.
Buyer's insurance.
Oh,
wow.
Little pun on the big. That's why you guys tune in every single week. Jif peanut butter, what is like, obviously that ends up being the peanut butter. Let's hear some peanut butter takes, Bob. Jif guy or another brand guy? I'm a Skippy
Are you
guy.
Kidding me? You're gonna be disgusted. I hate peanut butter. I hate it. When I was in high school and I was trying to put on weight.
It's in everywhere.
I was trying to put on weight in high school to become a wrestler, and everyone told me like, oh, a great hack to doing that is basically take a big scoop of peanut butter, throw it in a protein shake. That's like tons of calories right there. And I would do that. Well, I did it once, took one sip, and I puked like it was just, yeah, it was bad. I can't do peanut butter.
What about, like, is this the first time you had peanut butter? Like, you didn't grow up on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?
Never. Hate jelly, hate peanut butter. Yeah.
But like, so you didn't like peanut butter at a young age? Is that what happened?
Oh yeah. Never liked peanut butter. Consistency, it's just, yeah, gross.
Okay. So I won't knock you on that, because I hate cream cheese. I hate mayo. I know some people love it.
I hate both of those as well.
I remember me and Glenny Balls both said we hated them, and Dave was like, how did you guys get fat if you guys don't like cream cheese and mayo? But peanut butter, I mean, it's fucked. Like, this is going to become the origin story of how we became enemies. Our last run, you told me you hate mozzarella sticks, which I consider the king of appetizers, and now you hate peanut butter, which I consider the king of, I guess, spreads. So you don't like Reese's peanut butter cups?
So here's something that's going to piss you off even more. I don't like Reese's peanut butter cups. I do like Reese's Pieces.
Well, okay. So listen, I like Reese's Pieces, and there's a lot of slander towards them I found on the internet these days. I think their peanut butter taste is not as it has like a lot of stuff going on in those little pieces.
And it's the consistency that grosses me out.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's not the smooth, like gushy inside, you know?
Yeah, and listen, I love onions. I think onions are very important to like a good sauce. I don't like the consistency of onions. All right, I will say that. I don't like red peppers. I don't like red peppers, but I like the flavor of them. So I'll get like a sandwich of red peppers. I'll take them off and I get the juices. This is my Robbie, I consider you a good friend. I don't want to break up with you over peanut butter, so I'm going to do everything I can to spin on this myself. But the good part about this is I can now get on my peanut butter soapbox and tell you, Skippy for life, smooth Skippy for life. Fuck Jif peanut butter. Fuck Peter Pan. Fuck any of your little fancy other peanut butters. It's Skip smooth peanut butter for life, unless one of those peanut butters wants to sponsor my mom's basement. Then I can maybe see a different light there. But I have to just shout out.
I won't do a peanut butter ad read.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, I actually like peanut butter now. Crazy story. I thought I also like Hopper. Like, it's nothing better when you just have like a full room of like, I guess, food to yourself, or you're just by yourself and you're just in a fully stocked place. I thought Popper was just going to start eating peanut butter, just start fucking cracking stick to Playboys as he smokes some cigarettes, like just living the fucking dream, which I guess would be the dream. I've never smoked cigarettes, but I imagine eating peanut butter, smoking butts, and just fucking ripping it to some fresh Playboys right off the plane must be awesome. One other note I have here. Is this the same episode? We go learn about Victor's life, his past, and all that stuff, yep. Right? Some dark ass shit in that past. We're going back to the war. We have a baby's crib on fire. And if you have your little ear on, your little musical ear, or in my case, I'll be honest, it was on closed captioning, you can hear the song that is being played. It's called Dream a Little Dream of Me. And you know who else had that very song playing back in the 50s? One Steve Rogers. At the end of Endgame.
Oh, wow.
Care to explain yourself, Bob Fox?
Sounds like Vecna was after my guy because of the trauma he faced from Tony Stark's death. He was so upset over Tony Stark's death that, that's trauma. And Vecna goes after people with trauma, Clem.
That's actually a very good spin zone right there. I personally would say Steve Rogers is on the sus list because of it. Maybe even Peggy. But... that was a good spin zone, Bob.
That was good on the fly.
Yeah, it was very good. You're on your toes. I had that rated. That was the last bullet point there. I made sure that it was from this episode. You set me up. But you know what? Tip of the cap to you, sir. He still knew what fucking Bucky did, and that was wrong. But we'll just leave it at that for this episode.
All right. Leave your favorite moment in the comments below. I think mine would have to be the running up that hill moment of Max running, outside of the upside down.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's going to be the good chunk of it. If you guys even want to go outside the box, think of something else, I'm going to say just fucking, if it was anything but Jeff, just eating peanut butter and cracking stick to fucking Playboys. Seems like a hell of a time.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow for an episode 5 recap.